rocking, rocking and rolling. Down to the beach I'm strolling.
Hey everyone, I'm Kira, your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, and I will be your host today. This week's topic is a little bit more controversial. It's kind of mythical, it's kind of cartoonish. Altogether, I find it strange. I'm going to be asking Grovers what they think about the gender unicorn. Let's go ask the Grovers.
I don't know, it's like an interesting picture. I mean, I think it's interesting that it's popping up on college campuses because it doesn't really look very abstract. It almost looks like something you would give to a kid to explain it.
I think it's interesting that they chose to use a unicorn. It seems like a little bit like childish and kind of stereotypical, but I think the fact it's like cartoon, not a big deal.
So I think that it like depicts it well. I don't have a problem with it being like a unicorn or anything like that. I think it shows like where different ideas come from up here, so I think that's good. But yeah, I think it explains it.
I think the unicorn's like a good symbol for it. I don't necessarily like agree with it just from like my personal background, but I do think that it like
it
makes
depicts it.
Yeah,
it
like
shows people like the idea.
Like it's correct.
Yeah.
And I think it helps explain it to people who might not necessarily like understand it. So I think that's a good thing, and it does it in like a positive way.
Yeah. I don't think that I don't think the fact of it being a unicorn is going to make somebody agree with it or disagree with it. I don't think it's going to change people's opinion on it. But I think it explains, like, reasoning behind it. So, right?
Yeah. I think that using the unicorn as, like, kind of trying to explain, like, transgenders is a little... I feel like it's kind of taking advantage of children and just, like... Because the unicorn is, like, a children's character. And I feel like it's just kind of taking that and ruining the innocence of childhood, and especially for college kids, it's just, I feel like it's an inappropriate thing to be using to try and explain it to college kids.
It's interesting that this is kind of the message that they're trying to send, you know, that this is something kind of normal that people should accept, kind of almost without thinking. Even if you look at the colors that are used, you know, very warm, friendly colors, purple, red, orange. Which is interesting because it's a method, it's certainly a thing that can spark debate, either for or against the issue. Certainly something, I think, for Christians to be able to point out and say, you know, well, here's kind of a tangible example, something we can use to say, you know, this is not, either not right or something that you can kind of engage people with.
I don't think a unicorn's what you want to use as your argument, because you're using a mythical creature to try and convince people that this is a real thing. And you should really be able to see the issue with that. Like, I don't know if I have to explain why that's an issue.
I guess the fact that it is kind of seen as something that is a Christian symbol, if they're trying to re-engineer it specifically as something, that maybe I guess that could come off as kind of disrespectful, although I don't necessarily agree with 100% of the things on here. I think it's communicating a message that I guess gets their message across that they want.
Something different, something I've never seen before. It looks like it does what it's supposed to do. Just like a bunch of different things with genders, talking about thoughts, genetics, and then stuff with the heart, I guess, and how you feel.
Hi, my name is Anonymous. So this gender unicorn thing, I think when you take any kind of a confusing concept and you boil it down into a cartoon character, it really makes it a little bit more easily understandable for most people. I mean, this just kind of puts it in fun and simple terms instead of being a concept that a lot of people aren't exactly familiar with or might find jaded because, there's political debate over this sort of stuff.
Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry it was a little bit shorter than usual today. This week has been stressful, midterms, and also cold season, so I'm sorry if I gave it to anyone. By the time you watch this video, fall break will have already happened, and my life will be put back together again. So the next episode should be a little bit more in-depth. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you around the grove.